We're here at Chin Mee Chin, which is the old traditional cafe that Rahul and I spoke about in the first episode. It's an old Hainanese cafe, and it turns 100 years old this year. And just like Yazdani, they're really famous for the quintessential breakfast, which in Singapore is kaya toast. It's slices of bread, very soft and pillowy, that's grilled over the charcoal, slathered with a jam that's called kaya. It's made of coconut, pandan, and very importantly, it has a thick slab of ice-cold salted butter that when you bite down into it, transforms every bite from boring to brilliant. So my grandfather was also Hainanese, and in fact he had sailed over to Singapore as a young boy, a teenager, really coming from the south of China, in the island of Hainan, to make a life for himself here. And he worked, in fact, as a cook in a Hainanese kitchen, very much like this one over here. Singapore is just like Mumbai. It's a port city in that in many ways it was always a city of immigrants. People came from all across Asia to make a life for themselves here, and in the process really rewriting the script, rewriting the destiny of the country and of the city. Look at that architecture. My goodness, it's just stunning. I mean, we're in Joo Chiat right now, which is the heritage precinct that Akshita and I spoke so fondly about during that episode. And this precinct is full of buildings that look like that. If you look closely enough, it's got a mix of all these different architectural elements from all over the world. You've got these very classical European Corinthian columns. You've got traditional sort of Chinese motifs, mythological beasts. And the roofs have these traditional overhanging eaves that are very distinctive of the indigenous Malay architecture of Singapore. And of course, it wouldn't be Joo Chiat if not the beautiful, really cutting edge third wave coffee roasters that are based here. Over the past few weeks, I've had these brilliant conversations with our game changers, and it's really inspired me to think about what making a difference can be. Carving out paths not just for yourselves, but for the community around you, for the people that you love, for your entire city, for your entire country. What Riaz is doing with building communities and social spaces through food, what Srila is doing at the forefront of design and craft, what Akshita and Rochelle are doing with telling the stories that matter, what Rahul is doing with culture, all of them are so gutsy, they're dreamers. For a lot of these people, Singapore is a very important part of their journey. Even as Singapore has changed so much over the past few years, where in addition to these really sort of awesome experiences, it's got the kind of richness of everyday life that really is what makes Singapore special. I think for Indians to see this, it feels so much like home, because that's the same spirit of being game changers. That's what's powering all of these. There's a certain kinship that's connected us, two countries on both sides of the Bay of Bengal. It's always connected us, and I think it'll always connect us.